All right, what a weird overnight session for stocks. Market just opened. Had an interesting session yesterday. As you know, we started rallying hard in the latter part of the session. I don't know why. I actually don't know why. I haven't looked into it. I was super busy building my shed yesterday, but we rallied hard for pretty much, I guess, 3/4 of the day. And we're opening flat, which isn't bad. What's up, guys? Eric, Justin, good morning. But yeah, so NASDAQ did pretty good. What's working today? Got Twitter up a little bit. Yeah, Facebook's up pretty good off of earnings. 11%. Huge gap up. Pretty big. Twitter moving in kind. NetEase, AMED, AMRN up here. They're back into the 1%. I see MJ right there. VMW. Lilly flat. Starbucks flat. Goose flat. THRM barely flat. Hey, Rimlo, what's going on? Yeah, nothing too crazy pre-market. Square down, Tesla down. Square looked like it was bringing some back yesterday. Volume was a little bit light, but closed towards the high of the day. Nasdaq yesterday with actually another follow-through day. That would be a follow-through day on the Nasdaq. So that's 3 follow-through days. If I recall, we had a third one or second one here, and a third one here. So doing pretty good on follow-through days. You stop counting them after a while. Tesla down. INSG looks like still in that bear flag formation, kind of a diamond thing down here. Not sure if it'll be a diamond bottom. Morning, Nick. Yeah, good day yesterday in those markets. So look, we actually exited our channel range, our little tiny channel we were talking about. Right there. So broke above it, good volume. We'll see what happens today. Really could go either way today, but I wasn't expecting a big breakout like that yesterday. But that's good. That's definitely good. So market's still in that confirmed uptrend, and we're just working, guys. Look at VMW. So chop it around here above the buy point. Good secondary entry. Volume's a little bit light on the breakout, which is not what you want to see. Ideally, you'd like to see heavy volume on the breakout. But if we get going again here and you see some nice volume in VMW, I think it could be buyable. Let's go from the top down on my list here. Then we'll see what IBD's got to say. Any stocks they want to point out to us. We've got Charter gapping up on earnings today. Although they missed. Must have had some good guidance or something. Estimates was 157, actual 129. Revenue beat. Okay. Yeah, revenue's good. I'll take some revenue. See what we can do here in terms of the chart. So we've got a trend line here, and we've got kind of another parallel, almost parallel trend line right there. And we're coming up right to that one. We'll see if we can break that. Looks like yeah, we're touching that this morning. So we'll see how that goes. Now, oh my goodness. Now had earnings break out into all-time highs, and now this is good. It's pretty high. What would this be? What kind of chart pattern is this? So 28%, so it cannot be a flat base, so it's got to be a cup base with apparently no handle. Unless that's your handle, and that would be odd. I don't know what that qualifies as. I'm not sure if that's your handle or if it's just a cup base with a breakout. I have to pull some fibs. How do I do fibs on this? Retracements. There we go. Man. All right, so the question, so there's the bottom, so your handle would either have to be here, in which case is your 50%. Can't see anything. Yeah, either way, you know what? Technically, it looks like it's a mallet-shaped handle. Unless they're just viewing it as a cup base, but it's a very, very weird and loose definition right here of a cup with handle. So anyway, big breakout on now. Look at that, up 12%. How did earnings do? Pretty handily beat, 67 estimates, 77 actual. Yeah, Tesla shares sink after the CEO becomes the latest exec to leave. Let's check it out here. Yeah, they were doing okay post-market yesterday. Yeah, I guess they don't like that CFO leaving. So remember those options we were looking at yesterday? Let's just do a fun little experiment and see what they're worth today. Remember that $300 option was worth $14 yesterday. Now it's worth $5. Now half of that is due to the fact that it expires today, but a lot of it is just generally due to them bidding up that, and now it's worth a little less than $5. So really pay attention. I mean, really pay attention to the premium that you're paying in these options, because the stock could do nothing and you can just get destroyed. That's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Now, keep in mind that was also early morning yesterday. Tesla rallied throughout the day. It looks like they closed today. You can see the net change is minus 1487. So let's just round that to 15, around this to 5. You were at $20 yesterday. You lost 75% value in one day on that particular option. So take a lot of care if you're going to trade options, guys. I talk about it from time to time. But I also understand what I'm doing in terms of my strategy and stuff. So, don't jump into this feet first. As a matter of fact, I was kind of, you do your best thoughts in the shower yesterday, and I was thinking about traders. Trading's like the only profession you can jump into with both feet and walk in and expect to win. Like if you're going to be a physician, a doctor, a dentist, whatever, chiropractor, would you go, you know what, I'm going to be a chiropractor today. I've got like 50 grand. You know what, I'm just going to open an office, start advertising, and start being a doctor. Well, it doesn't work that way. You would open that office. It would take you at least a week to get a lease. Usually more than that, about 30 days, at a minimum a week. Let's say they want you to move fast. You've got cash. You want to open. They'll make it happen for you. So you got a week to think about this decision. So you want to move from a construction worker to a doctor, or software programmer to a doctor. And then you want to do that within a week. You've got a little bit of time there. You can become a trader in about a day. You can open the account in 15 minutes, have the funds available the next day. Jump in, start trading like a professional. To become a doctor in a week would be very difficult. And you'd be like, this probably isn't such a good decision. I think I got to go to school for 20 years, and I don't know what I'm doing in terms of treating these patients. I could go to WebMD all day long, but maybe that's not such a good thing. In trading, everyone has the same lines on the chart. Everyone has the same account. You can jump in here and start trading. And options is a good example of why you don't want to do that. Why you don't just want to jump in. Because they'll take all of that money, lickety split. Yeah. So I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, what if you treated every profession how retail traders treat their profession? What's up, Eli? Let's say you were a framer. You just walk onto a job site. What's up, guys? Yeah. Give me that wood there and those nails. I got this hammer. And maybe you had this like rinky-dink hammer you bought at Home Depot. Not the big one because it was too heavy, but this little rinky-dink one. You walk up to start nailing on stuff. How's that house going to turn out? So, anyway, I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, that's pretty funny. And it is pretty funny. Anyway, so NASDAQ holding up here today on the gap from yesterday. Eli, you son of a... You mother... I hate you. I hate you. It's not how I built my shed. I grabbed some wood and a jigsaw, Eli. It was a jigsaw, not a hammer. That's funny. I still hate you. All right, now 13% Charter. Talked about that one. Facebook 10%. Holding that gain so far. We'll see what happens. Looks like we kind of holding that gain, coming down to the range of the day so far. A little bit lower there. ABC on some earnings, popping up. Don't know much about this one, but the stock chart, not necessarily the ideal thing. Well, it's funny because I'm recording my shed exploits, and I did a miscut the other day, which took me a while, and and I videoed me throwing my piece of wood to the ground. So yeah, kind of like that. I'm like, expletive coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'm like, fuck, and I just threw it to the ground. That's funny. Twilio. Ooh, Twilio moving up in all-time highs pre-earnings. Earnings 212, so Twilio moving this morning. I haven't talked about it in a little bit, but it looks like it's been forming this little downward trend, and this morning rocking up. Probably some good news, I would assume. What? 128 is the last news. This is just organic, guys. There's no news here on Twilio. So, although I believe Twilio is already broken out, technically, this would have been a nice little consolidation buy on Twilio. So it worked pretty good yesterday. Elevated volume, not near average volume, which I always find this interesting when this happens. When volume drops below average and then it just starts to rise. It does happen. SendGrid also popping into highs. So the market's moving, guys. If you're not in it, you haven't been paying attention. RXN, Weibo. Interesting action in Weibo, although not running yet. MasterCard popping up. Earnings on MasterCard? Yes, earnings. When was earnings? Before market today. So earnings just occurred at MasterCard. Slightly below expectations, 158 to 155, but they're bringing it up anyways. FIVN. Come here, Bugs. Come here. Hold on a minute, guys. I'll be right back. Yeah. Try getting a newly minted 8-year-old to remember stuff for school. Not mine, at least. All right, FIVN TTD Rimla. I'm long on. Oh, there you go. I'm long on AMD since yesterday. Oh wow, they have earnings. Must. Oh, you bought on earnings. Beautiful. Good job, Rimla. You bought after earnings. Perfect, man. That's dope. Did you get an option or something? Must be an option. It's only up 12%, so that's good. Eli posted a chart in Slack. Let me see here. Seems like good resistance line. If it breaks, I would start opening champagne. This red one? Which one's the resistance line? It looks like we're above it. Oh, the blue line. Is that the 200-day? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, so it looks like it's been resistance here, here. Yeah, it could prove to be resistance there as well. It's probably an EMA line. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, so far it's doing fine. We're holding up. You know, it doesn't pay to be scared in the market. Especially, so here's the thing. That this is an index. This is not a stock on the NASDAQ. You have to treat it a little bit differently. It's not like Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Bitcoin is a stock. It is a stock. The NASDAQ is a culmination of stocks, so it doesn't necessarily trade exactly um, like a normal stock would. You know, you pretty much view the indexes within the terms, at least in my opinion, of uptrend v downtrend. That's really about it. You can look. I look for some consolidation. I look for, you know, strength and weakness, but I generally I generally don't. The 50-day is probably the only moving average in indexes that truly matter, and even then, it's a loose definition of matters. That's really about it. I don't. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah, but in terms of the blue line, yeah, it has been resistance in the past. That would be another nice break. I think at this stage of the game, I mean, holding that 50-day recently, I think is really good. I think that's excellent technical action. You know, a lot of professionals watch the 50. That's coming from IBD, who advises professionals, not from me, some guy who's never been a professional. Um, I mean, it's just a nice consolidation, and then now we're getting some continuation, which is great. Kron, Facebook, and Tesla. Good job. Let's look at Kron. Look at now, Eli. Look at that, man. Huge gap up on earnings today. Things are behaving good. Twitter's up 2.4%. Still not out of its consolidation. It came down lower, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's at least holding up. And then Kron. I'm trying to catch it. There we go.
You're gonna open this, right?
You want me to open it? Yeah, here, sit on my lap.
You don't have to open this. It's already open.
NASDAQ looks like it's wanting to head higher here after sitting at lows there for a minute. Starting to move a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if Kron's topping. I mean, you could probably put a partial stop underneath this red candle here, but I mean, this thing has been going pretty good. Yeah, if you like those 22%, feel free to take it. I'm not mad at that, but this is, I mean, the MJ sector is a movement. It's not necessarily, I don't think this is a pump and dump type of a thing. I think it's a movement that you should give a little bit of wiggle room to. Yeah, so IBD recommends taking profits in the 20 to 25% range. I would listen to IBD, but Kron has proven itself to be a leader in a sector that is pretty hot. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter too much, James. It's already scabbed over, so the medicine won't even get inside. This is too big.
I know, but I just wanted I couldn't find anything else.
Okay. Should I go this way or this way?
Yeah, this way.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird either way. All right, NASDAQ rocking here now. Looks like we're moving higher. Hold on, James.
I don't want it stuck to my head.
Don't move your foot, James. Cutting a band-aid on my son's foot. Being a dad never stops. How's that? Good now. Get out of here. Get out of here. You get out of my face.
Not in your face.
Here, can you take the Neosporin? Alright, I guess I could have muted it to do that. Sorry, guys. I'd like to invest in a weed fund, but I haven't found one yet in the UK. Well, you can make your own little one and take a bunch of little purchases. Thanks, Eric, but I think everyone that knows me knows that I'm not cool. Anyone that been interested in stocks since 16, probably not the definition of cool. Probably cooler now than I was then. All right, let's see what the market is doing. Almost 8 o'clock, almost a half hour through the day. Yeah, I mean, Kron's doing super. Let's take a look at some of those MJ stocks, speaking of which. We got Tilray up a little bit. So, yeah, Tilray's interesting right here. I'm not quite sure the fundamental difference between Kron and Tilray, but Kron and CGC are kind of moving a little bit, but Tilray, not so much. Tilray, not so much. They had a good vote of confidence. One of their investors did not leave, if I'm remembering that news correctly. But we still sold off a little bit there. Big volumes. Probably holding that stock down. Not quite sure why, but it could come back in time. Yeah, I wish I had the internet when I was 16 and I could have actually learned this trade effectively. Oh well. Okay, so there's Tilray. Nice little formation. We'll see if it breaks out of that. I think that would be a healthy buy. I think buying here is a little bit of a gamble, although Tilray's been pretty good for gambling on most days. Looks like here about a 15-16% to a stopping point in Tilray. Looks like there's one on a hiring spree yesterday. They hired 4 people yesterday, apparently. During NASA's global leadership appointments. Jim Cramer's prediction for the cannabis industry. Let's see what that is. It'll be possible to buy these equities at a cheaper price. He still believes that legalized marijuana is one of the greatest growth stories of the era. Name 5 predictions. Let's check it out. Legalization wave sweeping North America will continue. Kramer projects a win in cannabidiol. Cannabidiol. Okay, legalization of industrial hemp. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think industrial hemp. I've seen nothing but good things about hemp. It has nothing to do with weed, if I'm not mistaken. CGC, Cron, Tilray, ACB companies are already separating from the rest of the pack. ACB, I think we have that up here, but I don't really look at it too much. Let's see if I have it up here, ACB. Yeah, looks like I do somewhere. By the end of the year, major marijuana brands will be household names. Yeah, I think that's a little bit. I don't believe that. Marketing activities. As marijuana companies move up, Wall Street will pay more attention to the biotechs like GWPH and Corbus Pharmaceuticals, CRPB. They're producers of artificial cannabidiol. And Kramer said they could benefit from the popularity of medical marijuana due to the dosing problems faced by the sector. He's going to buy in a pullback. You had your pullback, Kramer. You had it. You just had your pullback, you idiot. He's not an idiot, but I'm just saying. Okay, so that's the MJ sector. ACB, he mentioned this one for some reason. Lots of volume in ACB. I'm not too mad at this one. Earnings coming up 211. And they don't tell me what exchange ACB is on. Oh, Aurora Cannabis. Okay, I've seen that one before. Yeah, we have that up here. But yeah, I think if you don't have some exposure to the MJ sector, I don't think you're doing it right. I don't think you're doing it right. So now leading the list today, holding up that 15%. Man, it's hard to gamble. It's hard to not buy before earnings. You know, I wasn't looking at buying now. I really wasn't looking at buying Tesla, but you get these big moves on some of these, and it's part of the game. You just have to get used to. I don't know anyone that does good on earnings. I haven't heard of a really spectacular earnings strategy because there's no strategy to be had on earnings. It's like it's a lottery. Literally, they announce earnings. No one's supposed to know what they are. So what edge can you have as a trader if you don't have insider information? So Facebook holding that 11% gain, doing pretty good. Looks we're back up to the 200-day moving average, and Nasdaq's getting up to that 200-day. That'll be a nice cross to be above the 200-day. SendGrid. So we have a couple stocks with this kind of strange meandering up. Not necessarily a traditional cup with handle, not a double bottom base. Some of these probably aren't even flat bases. 28% deep does not make SendGrid a flat base. And now we're in high, so Send has that. Twilio has the same little pattern there. We just saw a couple of those. Workday, similar pattern, not exactly, but similar meandering higher. No major chart pattern. AMRN actually looks like it's poking its head out from our little trend line we drew here yesterday. So that could get interesting. This If you guys remember, AMRN is a stock that was just rocked late last year. It was up this is like a super huge move, 216% it opened, then it ended up going 400%. One of the biggest moves I've ever seen. I mean, ever, in a stock that I found. You'll see these after the fact in many cases. We caught that in the moment. It was just weird. I usually never catch that. But anyway, holding up nicely and putting in a little bull flag here, even on the weekly. We had something yesterday with a 3 weeks type pattern we need to look at. What was that? Shoot. Come on, somebody was here. Tell me what that 3 weeks type pattern was. I'm going to write it down again. But AMRN, keep your eyes on this one. We've seen a lot of stocks break little patterns like this and go on to do good things. So AMRN, I think, would be on a short list here. I'm going to write it down, actually. Wynn Resorts up almost 5% today. Okay, we talked about them breaking this little pattern. And it looks like we weren't paying a lot of attention to them. And they broke it almost a week ago. Kind of walking up higher here today. Okay, earnings. They're higher on worse earnings. That's good, man. This market's bucking trends. That's all I got to say. ZS moving higher too. Kind of a similar pattern here. Kind of a similar pattern. Team breaking out today, guys. Team breaking out. We talked about yesterday. They were poking at this trend line. They broke out this morning, it appears. Much earlier. Volume already pretty heavy compared to yesterday. Yesterday was 1.1 million shares traded all day. Today is already over 500,000. So we're blowing out volume. Today's going to be a huge volume day in Team. I'm assuming that would keep continuing to the upside. So I'm going to put Team on my list. It's already moving quite a bit, 4.5%. So I don't know how much more gas it has left in the day. Talked about Wynn Results, Weibo, Align Technologies. I'm not sure if it's Align Technologies, actually. Oh, it is Align Technologies. Okay. I always think it's the dentist play. So coming up to the gapping point down here at about 249.50 and 249.50. We'll see if it stops there or it continues rallying. How are earnings? A little disappointing, but not bad. I think the market tempered their expectations in that bear market or something because things are looking good. NIL, recent IPO back in the third quarter of last year, coming up to a resistance line. We'll see if it can break that. Good volume here. Look at yesterday. Wow, that's 3 days of accumulation. Look at the volume today too. Average volume 12.5, already at over 4.5 million, 4.7 million. Moving quick. NIO, that's going on a list. I have no idea why I'm writing stocks down. I never look at these again. NIO moving though. Keep seeing Weibo. Let's take a second look at Weibo. We looked at them earlier. So they have kind of a weird little trend line right there. There's another one you can draw here. I'm not sure if that's genuine or not, but a good little breakout today. Little mini breakout from wherever this trend line is. I'm not gonna leave it up here, but breaking up out of that volume here so far pretty good. Already yesterday was 1.5. Today is already 686. So we're almost at 50% of yesterday's volume, and it's only 8:04, and this goes until 2:30 my time. So looking pretty good there. Huya, working pretty good. Wait for that little level to be broken there. Huya, I mean, these stocks that are up here, we see here up time and time again, they look pretty good. DBX, recent IPO. I'm not sure what they do. I don't remember, but it looks like they're trying to get out. Volumes aren't as elevated. I'm not as interested in that one. Twitter's chopping around here. I have RXN up here too. RXN coming back. Chart doesn't look as good. MDC breaking a little consolidation pattern here today. Good stuff today. Why are you doing a 27 for 25 stock split? That's dumb. Why would you do that to yourself? Bear market has ended, Justin. Yes, it has. Yeah, we've been talking about. I mean, this is a while. Our follow through day was here, buddy. A follow through day gives you that change in trend. We did have two follow through days that failed over here. This one and this one. We know about that, but yeah, we've been definitely buying since here. It's been yeah, it's been clear, buddy. Yeah, we started bucking news trends. We talked about that was one of the major shifts to look for, was that if it started behaving better on bad news, and it has been. Actually, right after we had the follow through day, a couple days later, we ended up with some bad news out of somewhere. I forget what it was, and we didn't sell off. We kind of maintained a little bit. We bucked the trend. We've had a couple bad news stories since. Some bad earnings have gone up. So yeah, we're in a different market. We're back into a normal uptrend. It's going to be, so this is your aggressive phase of the uptrend, and there'll be a less aggressive phase of the uptrend at some point. I'm not sure when it started yet. Well, I was pretty bullish through most of the bear market. Keep that in mind too. So we just got a little more exaggerated to the downside here than uh, than I thought we should have. But no, when you get that follow through day signal, you have to go with it. And then you just have to go with it. That's all there is to it. We never know what's going to work, and so you stick with the strategy. And for me, distribution days and a follow through day are strategies that I follow verbatim. In terms of the general market trend, I really listen to those distribution days. And when we go into a correction, which we haven't been in for a long time, even a very quick bear market, you still have to follow the follow through days. Now, there wasn't anything buyable here, so you out of here, Eli? All right, see you, buddy. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going here. So Roku, we talked about Roku yesterday, or a couple days ago, breaking that trend line right there. Looks like it's moving higher. A little bit of distribution here. We'll see if that'll get going. Being supported by the 10-day nicely through here is always a nice sign. AMRN. Looks like it's coming down a little bit. 808. I gotta go, guys. Gotta get ready for the Real Crypto Power Hour. Take care of my kid. So, yeah, market's looking nice. We had a big update yesterday. I wasn't expecting that, but it happened. So, I was hoping we were gonna hold the lows of the day, and we just ended up going higher and not stopping. It's kind of a nice surprise to walk in and see the market up, and then come back and see it up even more. So we're looking pretty good here. Nice. Yesterday was another follow through day. Elevated volume on definitely good percentage gain. So yeah, stay safe out there, guys. Look for stocks breaking out of these little patterns if you don't have positions already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So have a happy Thursday, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.